Bill Maher. Bill Maher reminds me a lot of my dad. Growing up, my dad was a Democrat. He had strong ties to labor unions. He was a huge supporter of Bill Clinton. Say what you want about Bill Clinton, but the dude was an excellent politician. The 90s were one of the most prosperous decades in my lifetime. Everyone was making money. Gas was under $1 a gallon. You didn't have to worry about cancel culture or being censored. It was viewed as a good thing to be controversial or offensive. Back then, there wasn't much difference between the left and the right. At the time, most people viewed that as a problem, as a bad thing. Now, looking at the political landscape we have now and the massive difference between the left and the right, I don't think we had it that bad back in the 90s. Bill Maher is an old school Democrat, a true Democrat, and much like my dad, he's fed up with the bullshit that the Democratic Party has become. The left used to be made up of somewhat normal people. Bill Clinton, Donald Trump, Harry Reid, Bill Maher. Were they corrupt? Sure. Were they in bed with a dictatorship? No. Were they trying to take away your freedoms? No. Friday night on his show, Bill Maher once again eviscerated modern day athletes for continuing to get on their knees and bow to China. Included in said evisceration was one of our favorite social justice warriors, LeBron James. Outside of the Olympics, no other sports league is in bed with China more than the NBA. Xi Jinping, he wakes up in the morning, Adam Silver is already under his covers. Good morning, master. Would you like your balls fondled this morning or simply licked on? LeBron James, he stands there with fresh orange juice, offering to fluff Xi Jinping's pillow so he can relax and fully enjoy the experience. Bill Maher addressed the NBA's one-sided relationship with China on Friday night. Check it out.
2 years ago, when the general manager of the Houston Rockets, Daryl Morey, tweeted, "Fight for freedom, stand with Hong Kong," he was forced to apologize. In America, we're supposed to root for democratic government, not apologize for it. But the NBA has a television deal with China worth $1.5 billion. So LeBron James said Morey needed to be educated on the situation. The situation being, I got some shoes to sell.
One minor correction there. Bill Maher is right. The NBA TV deal with China is worth over $1 billion. But of their $8 billion in annual revenue, $5 billion of it comes from China. Like I said the other day, the NBA is actively selling out their home country for money. Daryl Morey, who was on the right side of the Hong Kong issue 3 years ago, the NBA forced him to apologize. The conspiracy theorist in me still believes Enes Kanter being traded to Houston from the Celtics and being immediately released by the Rockets. I still believe that was the NBA's act of contrition to China for Daryl Morey. We do not side with this man who promotes bullshit like freedom. Here is Enes Kanter, our sacrifice for the transgressions of Daryl Morey. As you can see, we do not allow democratic language in our league. Here in America, what are some of the major platforms of the far left? Besides their alliance with China, what does the far left promote? What are they trying to normalize? Well, for one, they want to censor your speech. They want to take away your freedom. If you work for a living, they want to redistribute your wealth. After all, it's unfair. It's not socially equitable that you go to work every day and earn a living while the crack addict has to live under a bridge. They take your tax dollars and build them nice little houses in downtown Portland. They supply them with crack pipes so they can adequately get high. Next, we will start seeing government labs cooking crack and meth for addicts across the country. But what else is the far left trying to normalize? Transgenderism, which is ironic when you think about it. These people, they are so in love with China, not only because of the money, but because of the power, the control the Chinese government has over their population. They want the same thing here in America. However, in China, you are not allowed to be transgender. Hell, I don't even think it's legal to be gay in China. Check out what Bill Maher had to say about social justice warriors and the woke agenda.
Besides that, the definition of woke was supposed to be being alert to injustice in society. But because the woke now see race first and everything else never, fear of being accused of racism has given a free pass on human rights abuses to China and any other places that are perceived as non-white. If China was in Europe, would they get away with having concentration camps without more of an outcry from America? If men were forcing women to wear this in, say, Massachusetts, would that go as unremarked on as it does? The Chinese classify transgender as a mental illness. They just edited Friends episode so that Ross's wife is definitely not a lesbian. In 2020, NBA players wore jerseys that said freedom, speak up, and justice. But I guess those things only matter for home games.
Leah Thomas would not be allowed to walk the streets in Beijing, much less compete against women in swimming. She would be in the same concentration camp as the Uyghur Muslims. We are putting Leah Thomas in a re-education camp with other minorities in the name of diversity and inclusion. LeBron James and the NBA continue to remain silent on the genocide in China. If the police raid a house of a murder suspect in America and the dude pulls a gun on the cops, ends up getting shot, LeBron James calls it a human rights violation. What were the cops doing invading that man's house? All he was doing was cuddling on his couch with his dog, who identifies as a woman. These cops are purposefully killing our youth. Where is that same energy when it comes to China? That energy is suppressed by the almighty dollar. I guess that's the solution for us here in America. All we need to do to get rid of these dumbass social justice warriors is pay them to shut the hell up. Now, LeBron James, he was also in the news for something else this weekend. He gave an interview to Jason Lloyd at The Athletic, the media outlet that is on its way to extinction. I believe The Athletic, I think they were just bought by the New York Times. When that news was announced, the site lost thousands of subscribers. But anyway, during the interview, LeBron James announced that in his final season in the NBA, he wanted to play, or he would be playing, alongside his son, Bronny James. Now, on the surface, this seems like a nice moment. Loving father, wanting to spend his final season and his son's rookie season playing together. Now, I'm critical of LeBron James for many things, but one thing I will never go after him about is him being a great father. LeBron rose to stardom in the social media era where everything is recorded. If you're a public figure, privacy doesn't really exist. Yet we have never heard anything negative regarding LeBron James when it comes to his family. Like I said, on the surface, this seems like a noble thing to do. But when you start looking at it, putting it into perspective, it makes me question LeBron's intentions. For one, this puts an immense amount of pressure on Bronny James to just make it into the NBA. No easy task. I mean, the kid's only 17 years old. He's only 6'2". According to Rivals, he's listed as a 4-star recruit. Now, in terms of playing at the college level, that's fine. 4-star recruits will get in all day, every day. When you're talking about making it to the NBA, that is a completely different story. The majority of your 4-star recruits never see the NBA. So why would LeBron James make this announcement 2 years before his son is even eligible to be drafted? I think he is paving the road for his son to make it to the NBA, whether he's talented enough or not. Think about it. LeBron issues basically an edict that he is playing his final NBA season with his son. So any team interested in signing LeBron James for his farewell season must sign Bronny James too. During the interview, LeBron said his final season would not be about the money. Basically, he would be playing for the league minimum. So the team that gets LeBron, not only do they get him for the cheap, but it comes with a caveat. They have to sign his son too, give his son an opportunity to play in the NBA. Now look, I'm not blaming LeBron for this. I think most fathers in the same situation would do the same thing for their kid. But when I read the interview in the Athletic, the first thing that came to my mind was LeBron James is trying to guarantee his kid a spot in the NBA. But let me know what you guys think. Give me your thoughts on Bill Maher going after the NBA for their dealings with China, or LeBron James for his dealings with China too. Also, what do you think of LeBron's comments on his final NBA season? Do you think he is paving the way for his son to be given an NBA opportunity, whether he's talented enough or not? Sound off in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys tomorrow.